Welcome, everyone, to the season finale of the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. Tonight, the Super Late Models will be taking on North Wilkesboro Speedway for 125 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight, Atlee Atman. At least I'm excited to call all the racing action for this season finale. Now, coming into tonight's event, as long as he starts tonight's event, the champion has been decided, and the champion for the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series is Josh Oswald. Josh Oswald wins his second Super Late Model Series championship in a row, and the winner of the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series champion got a free intensity broadcasting item of their choice, and Josh Oswald has chosen the intensity racing style shirt. So congratulations to Josh Oswald on the championship. Oswald hoping to get a win here tonight at North Wilkesboro to finish off tonight's season. We will see what happens though. Mike Hasty, as long as he starts tonight's event, he will finish second in points. And it's looking like Sam Wetstein, who is currently third in points, is not in the field tonight. If he misses tonight's event, then that will give the third place spot in points to Michael Swink. Right now in practice, let me cut to the track here. Right now in practice, we see Samuel Fontaine is on the top of the board with a 17.62 as his best lap time. Then second is Mike Hasty running in that 72 machine. He has a 17.68 as his best lap time, and that means Hasty is about 600ths off of first place Samuel Fontaine. Third on the board is Rick Rube. Fourth is Michael Swink. And then rounding at your top five is Josh Oswald. Got a small field tonight, 8 cars, but that doesn't mean we can't have some great racing here tonight. And it looks like Trading Paints is acting weird. I'm gonna just quickly try to adjust the paint schemes. I'm pretty sure. Nope, it's just that a lot of drivers are running the base schemes. There we go. We got Trading Paints fixed finally. There we go. We got Trading Paints fixed now. Take a look back here onto the track. Now we can see all the awesome paint schemes that are in the field tonight. Now I do want to quickly look back at last week at Lanier National Speedway. We saw Daniel Pope II got his second win of the season, leading 52 of the 125 laps. We saw Dylan Bates ended up finishing second. He led 73 of the 125 laps. Third ended up being Josh Oswald. Fourth was Aaron Johnson. And then rounding out your top five was Kyle Martinson. Your top two, Daniel Pope and Dylan Bates, both of them are not in the field tonight, and we won't see a 2-in-a-row win for Daniel Pope. So we are now getting ready for qualifying. Drivers will get 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time. There we see the 888 of Devin Schmidt heading out on track to begin his first lap time. Oh, and getting ready to start his first lap, he gets loose coming off of turn number 4. Luckily, he did not cross the start-finish lines, which means he can reset and start over again. Mike Hasty starting his first lap. Hasty was second on the board in practice, looking to try to carry that momentum on to qualifying. Here we see the 49 of George Fernandez getting ready to complete his first lap time. Nope, he's actually starting his first lap. There we go. First two drivers onto the board. We see Josh Oswald on the top of the board with a 17.92. Then in second, about a tenth off of Oswald, is George Fernandez. And then rounding out your top three, it's Devin Schmidt. So right now, 10th separates first and second. See Aaron Ward able to get to third with a 18.12. That's going to put him about 2/10 off of Josh Oswald. I do think we may have a smaller field tonight just because the Daytona duels are on tonight, so I know a lot of our drivers that normally run in this league are probably watching that. The second one is currently taking place right now. But we thank you for choosing us as your daily dose of racing tonight. We see Samuel Fontaine able to get to the top of the board with a 17.75. That's going to put him about a 10th ahead of Rick Rube. See, third place is Michael Swink right now. He has a 17.88 as his best lap time, about a 10th off of Fontaine. And he's a little bit slower on his second lap. So there you go. That's all of the drivers that need to qualify. Everybody has turned a lap time, and so that means that Samuel Fontaine will be starting on the pole for tonight's event. While we're under this little break in the action, make sure to take this time to share the stream on whatever platform you are watching, as it helps us it exposes us to more people, and it helps out the league, the drivers, and the sponsors. And who knows, you might have a friend that likes racing and might not have seen our page yet. Also, make sure to take this time to visit the Intensity Broadcasting store, intensitybroadcasting.com. Our champion, Josh Oswald, got to pick one free item from our Intensity Broadcasting store, and he ended up picking the Intensity Broadcasting Racing Tee, and I'll tell you, that shirt looks absolutely phenomenal. And you can go pick one up of your own on our store, intensitybroadcasting.com. It's got 5 different colors: athletic heather, black heather, dark gray heather, berry, and asphalt, and it comes in sizes from extra small to 5XL. Now, I will say the sizes do run a little bit small, so make sure to pick one up. It is 100% combed and ring spun cotton. And there are many other great items on the Intensity Broadcasting store as well. We've got hats, we've got mugs, we've got stickers, we've got mouse pads, we've got posters. Make sure to check out the Thunderstruck League collection. There you can find one of my favorite items on the store, the Thunderstruck Racing shirt. That shirt looks absolutely phenomenal. So if you're a fan of the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series, go pick one up. We're going to have another 2-minute warm-up before we officially start gridding for tonight's event. There we see the field heading out onto the track to get some lap times in before our warm-up ends. Oh, there we see a car, Michael Swink, getting loose through turns 1 and 2. we're going to need these drivers here at North Wilkesboro need to be very, very careful on the throttle. You don't want to get into the gas too early or too hard, or that car is just going to go around, whether it's turns 1 and 2 or turns 3 and 4. Right now we see Mike Hasty is on the top of the board with a 17.75 as his best lap time. Then about 800ths off of him is second place Rube. Third is Devin Schmidt. Once again, although this is the season finale, we're not really racing, these drivers aren't really racing for a championship. Josh Oswald, as long as he starts tonight's event, he has the championship locked up, and this will mean that Josh Oswald will get his second championship in a row here in the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. And I say it time and time again, the key to Josh Oswald's success is he's made every single one of the races. Some of our other drivers who have a bunch of wins, they might not have necessarily made every single race, but Josh Oswald, he is here every single week, and even if he doesn't exactly get wins, he's still consistently in the top 5, top 10, and he makes the race every single week. So here's a look at your starting lineup, starting on the pole with a 17.735. From Canada, it's the 91 of Samuel Fontaine. Outside of him, it's Rube. Third is the 51 of Michael Swink. Fourth is Josh the Jet Oswald and the 17-year season champion. And then rounding at your top 5, we have Roca Nations, number 49 of George Fernandez. Sixth is Aaron Ward. Seventh is Devin Schmidt. Rounding out your top 8, also running with Roca Nation, it's the 72 of Mike Hasty. So here we go. We are now in our formation laps. Drivers swerving back and forth, getting those tires warmed up. And it is very important to get those tires warmed up because we have a very, very cool track here tonight. 74 degrees Fahrenheit, 9% humidity, overcast, 2 miles per hour wind speed. Track temperature's a little bit warmer, but still fairly cool, 79 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina at the 0.5 of a mile North Wilkesboro Speedway. Now, North Wilkesboro has not hosted a real-life race since 2010. But it is cool that although there isn't racing going on at North Wilkesboro right now in real life, we can still enjoy the track here on iRacing. I did see, though, that there is currently efforts to try to bring the track back to its former glory, so that will be awesome, as there's always great racing here at North Wilkesboro on iRacing, from what I've seen. Pace car is in. And green flag is out here at. So I had to get the time. So green flag is out here at North Wilkes Speedway. There we see Samuel Fontaine taking off. We've got a battle for second between Michael Swink, Josh Oswald, Rube. There we see Josh Oswald looking low under Rube as we head into turns 1 and 2. See Oswald has the nose over Rube, and he gets clear. Josh Oswald into the top 3 now. And now Josh Oswald trying to reel in Michael Swink for that second place spot. Samuel Fontaine has just turned the fastest lap time of the race with a 17.88. Fontaine was the fastest in practice. He was the fastest in qualifying. And now, so far, he is dominating tonight's feature event. Looks like Michael Swink has blinked a little bit. Josh Oswald trying to take a look down low. Under that 51 machine, we see Oswald able to get to the rear quarter panel. He falls back behind the 51. trying to take another shot down low under the 51 as we head into turns 1 and 2. Oswald. Oh, and we see our first caution flag is out. Looks like it is Mike Hasty. Looks like he has gone off track. Let's take a look at what happened to him with the Wreckage Replay. So we see Mike Hasty trying to reel in Aaron Ward for that 5th place spot. And, ooh, coming off of turn number 2, gets into the grass just a teensy bit, and that's enough to send that 72 around. Into the grass. And, ooh, tags the inside wall a teensy bit there. That is definitely unfortunate for Mike Hasty, but we are going to re-rack them, re-stack them, and get ready to go back green. In our little green flag run that we did have, Samuel Fontaine led all of the laps. Definitely the driver to beat here tonight. Still, watch out for Michael Swink, Josh Oswald. Both of them have gained a position since the green flag drop. Rick Rube had a rough start to the race. He has lost 2 spots after starting on the outside pole. We saw Oswald and Michael Swink both were able to get by him. He's hoping to work his way back up to the field on this next restart. So make sure to let us know who you are rooting for in the field tonight. Got 8 cars, all of them with a chance to win. Lights are off on the pace car. We are getting ready to go back green here. Samuel Fontaine restarting on the bottom. Michael Swink restarting on the top. There we go. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out. There we see Samuel Fontaine taking off. Michael Swink with a great restart. He is right on the back bumper of that 91 machine. That is the key. Michael Swink showed us what exactly you want to do on a restart when you're starting on that outside front row. But we now see Samuel Fontaine is extending that gap a little bit over second place Michael Swink. See Rick Rube trying to reel in Josh Oswald for that 3rd place spot. Rube started in the 2nd place spot, but he lost 2 positions since the green flag drop, trying to work his way back up through the field. Josh Oswald trying to reel in Michael Swink for that 2nd place spot. Oswald and Swink both have just ran their fastest lap times of the race, and before that caution flag came out, we saw Oswald was taking shots down low, trying to get under that 51 machine. Still, Swink had the nose when the flag came out. There we see Oswald able to get under Michael Swink as we head onto the backstretch. Oswald on the rear quarter panel as we head into 3 and 4 there, side by side, coming off of turn number 4. Oswald still has the nose here through 1 and 2. Michael Swink holding his own on that outside, and he is able to get clear. Josh Oswald now to that 2nd place spot. Michael Swink, though, not letting him get away. Maybe trying to set up a pass to get that 2nd place spot back. Michael Swink also has Rick Rube right behind him trying to hold him off. See Devin Schmidt trying to make a pass on Rick Rube for that 4th place spot. Schmidt running about a car length lower than where Rick Rube is running at. There we see Schmidt trying to take it to the outside. You really can't pass here on the outside, as the bottom is the preferred groove. There we see now Devin Schmidt trying to take it to the bottom. He's able to get under the 81 coming off of turn number 4. Can't quite get there though. Rick Rube able to get back clear. Don't think we've seen the end of that 888. Devin Schmidt looking high, looking low, trying to set up that pass. See right now Samuel Fontaine has a 3/10 lead over second place Oswald. But slowly but surely, Josh Oswald is reeling in that 91 machine. Josh Oswald trying to get under that 91 as we head into turns 3 and 4. What is that 17 going to try to do? Oswald has been a big mover since the green flag dropped. Has made some good, smart, clean passes. And now he is trying to make another good, smart, clean pass on that 91 machine. Oswald trying anything he can to get under that 91, and I think Oswald is trying to be a little bit patient. You don't want to be too aggressive early on in this thing. I think early on in this race we're going to see a lot more give and take. Drivers being a little bit more cautious than later in the race. Oswald getting right up to that back bumper on that 91 machine of Samuel Fontaine. We see Oswald taking it down to the bottom of the track as we head off of turn number 2, trying to use that bottom groove to get under that 91. You don't want to do what Mike Hasty did, though. Hasty was running so low in the corners that he clipped the grass a little bit, and that ended up sending him around. Oswald still trying to set up a pass on that 91 machine. Here's a look at your current top 5. We see Samuel Fontaine is in first. Second place is Josh Oswald. Right now running that third place spot is Michael Swink. Fourth place is Devin Schmidt. And then rounding at your top 5 right now, it is Rick Rube. We take a look back now to this battle for the lead between Samuel Fontaine and Josh Oswald. Josh Oswald is losing Fontaine a little bit. Samuel Fontaine starting to extend that gap. I do want to shout out so far our biggest mover of the race, Devin Schmidt. Devin up to that 4th place spot after starting 1 spot away from last place. He's just made some smart moves, has kept it clean, avoid the mess, and here he is up into the top 5 right now, trying to reel in Michael Swink for that 3rd place spot. One driver who has not had a good race is Rick Rube, your current 5th place driver. Yes, he is in the top 5, but there's only 8 cars, so that's only 4 positions away from the back. Now, Rick Rube, he started in that second place spot outside pole, and as soon as the green flag drops, the floodgates just opened for that 81 machine. He's just lost position after position to Oswald, Michael Swink, Devin Schmidt. Now he's trying to make some of those positions back. We do see Mike Hasty trying to make a pass on that 81. It's looking like Mike Hasty might lose yet another position. Uh-oh, looks like something happened to Devin Schmidt. And Devin Schmidt is just mainly disconnected. What in the world happened to him? Looks like Devin tags the outside wall and breaks into the grass and then jumps to the pits, and then he manually disconnects. I mean, the damage really didn't look that bad. I think Schmidt could have continued, but looks like he calls it quits and manually disconnects. We do have a battle going on right now for that 4th place spot between Rick Rube and Mike Hasty, with Schmidt manually disconnecting. That'll give the 4th place spot back to Rick Rube. So now Rube is only 2 positions off where he started, but he might lose another position if Hasty can get by him. Mike Hasty has to be careful. He doesn't want to do what he did when we saw that first caution flag came out. There we see Mike Hasty taking a look down low under that 81 as we head off of turn number 4. He is able to get clear. Mike Hasty to the 4th place spot now. Rick Rube now has fallen to 5th. Anyway, like I was saying, Mike Hasty was running such a low line that he ended up getting into the grass, and the grass ended up making him spin, and he fell all the way to the back. He has luckily worked his way back up to the 4th place spot. Mike Hasty, with the way that the point standings has shaken out, he will be the runner-up in points behind Josh Oswald. Mike Hasty started in the last place spot. He then worked his way up to the field, got into the grass a little bit, spun, went back to last, and now he is into the top 5, currently sitting in 4th with the chance to win tonight's event. What a story for Mike Hasty. His race so far has really been the definition of a roller coaster event. Right now, Hasty hoping to reel in Michael Swink for that 3rd place spot. Josh Oswald still trying to reel in Samuel Fontaine for that 3rd place spot. Oswald has tried multiple times to get under that 91 machine, but his efforts have been unsuccessful. That might change here as Oswald tries reeling in that 91. I think we're still at the point where you really don't want to be too aggressive on someone because you don't want to wreck that car early on. So I think we're going to continue to see Josh Oswald be very patient. I don't think we're going to see him use that chrome horn. Because you got to be patient. Because even if you wreck somebody else, you have a chance of wrecking yourself. And you don't want that. Here's a look at the cockpit cam of that 17 machine of Josh Oswald. Continue to watch him try reeling in Samuel Fontaine for that 1st place spot. And let's do a little... So let's watch here his line. Here we see Oswald getting... He's not directly on the bottom. We see he lets the car float a little bit up to that first white dash and then drives it back down. And turns 3 and 4 is driving it all the way to the bottom on entry of the corner. He keeps it up there, and then turns down really hard coming off of turn number 2. We see Rick Rube still trying to make a pass on that 4th place spot of Michael Swink. Looks like Mike Hasty was able to make a pass on Michael Swink, and Hasty is now up to that 3rd place spot. Again, what an incredible story of Mike Hasty. I mean, he started in the last place spot, worked his way up to around 4th or 5th. Got into the grass, spun, fell back to last, and now he's worked his way up to 3rd now, hoping to keep it here for the rest of the race, maybe even reel in your 2nd place driver, Josh Oswald. Right now, your top 5 is looking like this. Samuel Fontaine is in 1st. Josh Oswald right now sitting in 2nd. 3rd is Mike Hasty. 4th place right now is Michael Swink. And then rounding out your top 5, it's Rick Rube. And as I'm talking about Rick Rube, he has gotten under Michael Swink for this 4th place spot. They are side by side as we head into 1 and 2. We see Rick Rube has the nose through the corner. Still has the nose as we come off the corner. They are still side by side. Swink holding his own on that outside, but there we go. Mike Hasty is able to get clear and is now, or excuse me, Rick Rube is able to get clear of Michael Swink for that 4th place spot. Rick Rube trying to reel in Mike Hasty. Josh Oswald still trying to make a pass on Samuel Fontaine for this 3rd place spot. Oswald has been behind the 91 of Fontaine for quite some time now. We'll see what he tries to do. Like I said, though, I think this is still the time of the race where you have to be patient. Don't really want to use that bumper. Don't want to try anything too aggressive. Just if the pass happens, the pass happens. If not, don't force anything. See Samuel Fontaine starting to extend that gap a little bit over Josh Oswald. Josh Oswald, though, reeling him back in here in turns 3 and 4, getting right up to the back bumper of that 91 machine. So far, we've seen Samuel Fontaine doing a good job running that defensive line, doing a good job holding off that 17 machine. Question is, how long can he keep it up? Recently, Oswald hasn't been able to get the gap between him and Fontaine to under 2/10. That'll be the key for Oswald to try to get by Fontaine. You got to get that gap to less than 2/10, and then the pass will really come to you. So right now, except for this battle for the lead, the whole field is separated by more than a second, which is crazy. No, we only have 8, now 7 cars in the field tonight. I know a lot of our normal drivers that we normally see in these races are probably watching the Daytona duels that are currently on right now. And if anybody wants an update on the Daytona duels, just let me know and I can tell you. Now we're at the halfway point, and you know what that means. We are going to be turning up the volume here at North Wilkesboro. With Pump Up the Intensity, you'll get to hear the sounds and see the sights of the racetrack. Here we go. Well, there you go. That is going to do it for Pump Up the Intensity. Hopefully you enjoyed us turning up the volume. We now take a look back at the racing action. Right now, Samuel Fontaine has an almost 1 second lead over second place Josh Oswald. He is starting to run away from that 17 machine. The whole field is pretty much separated by a second between each driver. Daytona duels are on, so we'll do a little duel check-in. And let's see. So the results are in for both duels. Brad Keselowski, he won the first Daytona duel, which means he will be starting third. And Chris Buescher won the other Daytona duel, which means he will be starting fourth. And then fifth is going to be Austin Cindric. Sixth is going to be Michael McDowell. So far, it's looking like the Fords are very, very stout here at Daytona. Ford's always good at these super speedways. I know last year we saw a Ford get the Daytona 500 win with Michael McDowell. Definitely isn't unlikely to see another Ford victory here on Sunday. Let us know what your prediction is in the chat, and if you think you know who all is going to do good at Daytona, I recommend joining our NASCAR Fantasy Live League, where you get to pick 5 drivers who you think are going to do the best, and you're going to do that each week. We have our own league with so far 6 drivers, and we're always looking for new members of the league. And we actually have 2 of our broadcasters in the league, myself and Josh Hall. So come try to beat the broadcasters in our NASCAR Fantasy Live League. There is the link to it in the chat. You basically pick the 5 drivers that you think will do the best at whatever track we are racing at, and you can also pick a 6th garage driver, which if one of the drivers 5 that you picked isn't doing too hot before the end of stage 2, you can switch it out. So come try to beat the broadcasters. I know, like I said, myself and Josh Hall are in the league. I think I'll probably do pretty good this season. I'm pretty good at, knowing who is good at each track. Of course, this is going to be a very unpredictable season, especially at Daytona. It's kind of hard to tell, but I think we're going to see a lot of the typical culprits rise up to the top here at the end of the race. You got your Denny Hamlins, your Kurt Busches, your Joey Logano's, Brad Keselowski. All of them are going to be up front at the end, I bet you. Oh, looks like Samuel Fontaine is blinking a little bit. He is your current leader in the field. Very, very spread out. Here's a look at your top 5 right now. Samuel Fontaine in first. Josh Oswald currently sitting in second. Third place is Mike Hasty. Fourth is Rick Rube. Rounding out your top 5, it is Michael Swink. Now, the top 3 in the championship points here for Thunderstruck has already been decided. Josh Oswald is your season champion. Second in points is Mike Hasty. Third in points is Michael Swink. And with Josh Oswald winning, he was able to choose a item from the Intensity Broadcasting merchandise store, any item of his choice, and he ended up choosing the Intensity Racing shirt. which I think that is a great choice. Definitely one of my favorite items in the store. And you can go pick one up yourself on our merchandise store, IntensityBroadcasting.com. You can find the link to it, our store, in the description. So far in tonight's event, Samuel Fontaine has absolutely dominated, has led every single lap so far. Josh Oswald has been there up on his back bumper a couple times, but hasn't been able to get by him. Definitely the driver to beat. He right now has a 3-second lead over second place Josh Oswald. Unless something really, really bad happens to that 91, then I think he might have the win here. And this will be, if Samuel Fontaine wins tonight, this will be his first win of the season. The entire field has a combined 0 wins this season. All of our winners that we have seen are not in the race tonight. So that's crazy. Again, the whole field has a combined 0 wins. And you might be thinking, well, that's impossible. It isn't, because majority of our winners don't compete in this league every single week. And so all the winners are missing from the race tonight. After tonight's season finale, the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series is going to have a 3-week break, but Thunderstruck will be resuming racing on March 24th, and it will be broadcasted here on Intensity Broadcasting. Hemi G on YouTube says, I'm going to guess a first-time winner then. Yep, because the entire field has a combined 0 wins, we are going to have a first-time winner tonight, and it's looking like it's very likely that that first-time winner will be Samuel Fontaine. Right now, he has a 4-second lead over second-place Josh Oswald, and like I said, unless something really, really terrible happens to Samuel Fontaine, it's going to be hard for anybody else to get the win. This has been a great season here in the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. We've had a lot of great races, a lot of great finishes, and it all ends here tonight. Hemi G says, Sam doesn't make many mistakes. Yeah, so far here tonight, Samuel has just had a mistake-free race, has just been hitting his marks, has had a good line, and just been very, very consistent, and that's really what you need to have success here at North Wilkesboro. Now, I do want to shout out all of our winners this season in the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. We had a ton of different winners. I think at one point we had a bunch of all unique winners. Of course, we did see a couple people with repeat wins. Here we go. I'm going to shout out all of the winners from this season. Our winners included Aaron Johnson, Kyle Martinson, who had 2, Daniel Pope had 2 wins. Eric Myers had 1 win. Alex McCollum had 2 wins. Donald Clark had 1 win. And we saw Mike Wombold had 2 wins. And I also want to shout out our champions from the Thunderstruck other 2 series. We saw Mike Hasty ended up winning the Tour Modified Championship. And for the Monday Night Series, Michael Swink won the championship. Yeah, Hasty is starting to catch Josh Oswald a little bit. Bit by bit, he's starting to reel him in. Question is, will it be enough to get him there by the end of the race? I think if we're going to see any battles, we're going to see a lot more taken than given here as we're in the nitty-gritty of tonight's event. This is the battle between the top 2 and points now. No matter who finishes ahead of who, Oswald will still be the champion. Hasty will still be the runner-up, but still, this is going to be a big battle between 2 of the best drivers in Thunderstruck if Hasty can reel Oswald in. Now, like I said, Josh Oswald did not have any wins this season, but his key to success was, for his championship, is Oswald attended every single race, did not miss one, and he had an average finish of 7th. You could pretty much always finished in the top 10, which just that consistency helped him get the championship. Hasty reeling Josh Oswald in fast for this 2nd place spot. We see, here's a look at the cockpit cam of the 72 machine of Mike Hasty. 15 laps to go for this 72. We saw Josh Oswald tagging the wall a little bit. He can't make any more mistakes like that. Here we see the 72 trying to take a shot down low. Hasty looking high, looking low. Hasty trying to take a shot down low. Heading into 1 and 2, he is unsuccessful. I would not be surprised if we see Mike Hasty try to use the chrome horn as we're in the waning portions of tonight's event. Looks like Hasty gets a little bit loose off of turn number 4. That's going to allow Oswald to extend that gap a little bit over Mike Hasty. Hasty, if he wants to get by Oswald, he can't be making those mistakes. So here we go, less than 10 laps to go for Samuel Fontaine. Samuel has a 6-second lead over 2nd place Josh Oswald. He's put the whole field except for Oswald, Hasty, and Rick Rube a lap down. He's just had an absolutely dominant race, has led every single lap so far. But can he finish it out? I know right now, seeing Samuel Fontaine in the lead. Fontaine Nation is on their feet. Fun fact, Samuel Fontaine is the only Canadian in the field tonight. So, Samuel Fontaine also representing the country of Canada here in this Thunderstruck Super Late Model race. So Fontaine not only representing his fan base, but also representing the entire country of Canada. Less than 5 laps to go for Samuel Fontaine. Can he finish it out? We've got a battle for third beginning to brew between Mike Hasty and Rick Rube. There we saw in turns 1 and 2. Rube reeled in Hasty fast. Got a big run. We see Hasty extend that gap a little bit. Another big run for Rick Rube as we head into 1 and 2. Two laps to go now for Samuel Fontaine. Here we go, getting ready to cross the line, making it 1 lap to go. Samuel has led from flag to flag, has led every single lap, absolutely dominated. Oswald was running on his back bumper for a little bit, couldn't quite get by him. And there we go. Samuel Fontaine will get his first win of the season and wins the season finale. Here we see Josh Oswald coming off of turn number 4. He is going to be second, and Josh Oswald is your Super Late Model Series champion. Mike Hasty ends up finishing third. He is your Super Late Model Series runner-up. But all eyes right now are on Samuel Fontaine, your 91 machine. As he is getting ready to burn it down. Here we go. And looks like we do not end up seeing... Oh, there we go. Samuel Fontaine burning it down here at North Wilkesboro to celebrate his season finale win. I know. Fontaine's whole fan base is on their feet right now. And the country of Canada is on their feet as well, as Fontaine is the only Canadian in the field tonight. So we are now getting set for the driver interviews. We're going to start off by pulling in your third place finisher from Waterford, Michigan. It is Mike Hasty. Mike, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
How you doing, Atlee?
Doing pretty good up here in the booth, and looks like you were doing pretty good out there on track. You had the definition of a roller coaster race. You started in the back, were able to work your way up to around 5th or 4th, and then we saw you got into the grass a little bit. You ended up spinning, and that ended up bringing out our only caution. Had to fall to the back, but you were able to work your way up to the field, made some smart, good moves, were very consistent, and you were able to get up there to the top 3. We're catching Oswald there at the end, but you couldn't quite get up to him, and you had to fend off Rick Rube there at the end. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event for the season finale?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. I got into the grass there. Aaron Ward I was racing him, and I got underneath him, and I just wanted to make sure I gave him enough room. It was early in the race, and I don't even think I really touched anything, but, obviously, from my perspective, it didn't feel like anything like that, and it went around, and no harm, no foul, and started over and do it again. Other than that, it was pretty good. The car is nice and fast, and I was just trying to stick with Josh there as best as I could. hoping for a caution so I could race those guys.
Now, I know North Wilkesboro can be very, very hard on the tires. How are the tires feeling there at the end?
I think they were a little bit used up, but not too bad. Looks like I'm looking now. I got a 63 right front and a 74 right rear. That's not too bad. I only kind of turned it up a little bit towards the last like 10 or 12 laps, and by then they were kind of a little beat up already. So wanted to make sure that I gave Josh an honest run, you know.
And also, you ended up finishing runner-up in the points. How does it feel to win the Tour Modified Championship and finish runner-up here in the Super Late Model Series?
Hey, it feels really, really good. I knew going in I didn't have a shot. Josh, all he had to do was start, and he had it won. So I wasn't going to race him too hard, you know, try to win it or anything. But congrats to him. And you said it was a roller coaster race, man. It's been a roller coaster season. It feels like if I can get run over by somebody, it happens pretty much every race. So to be here second place at the end is quite a feat for me. I don't really know how it happened, but I'll take it.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Well, of course, we always want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast, Josh for doing the league, and all the admins for the league, and everybody who contributes to that. All the guys at race. I did, like I said, I got ran over a lot, but no hard feelings towards anybody. I like racing with these guys a lot. It's a lot of fun. So just thanks to everybody and my Rocket teammates. Sam Fontaine, Moneymaker's teammate there on the win. Good job for that too.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight and the runner-up finish in the points. Have a great rest of your night.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, man.
Yep, no problem. All right, let's now pull in your second place finisher and season champion, Josh the Jet Oswald. Josh, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you, bud. How are you?
Doing pretty good up here in the booth, and looks like you were doing pretty good out on track. I know you had the championship locked up coming into this thing, but still, you put on a great show on track. You ended up finishing in the runner-up spot after starting in fourth, and then we saw you were able to get by Rube and Swink, and you got up to second. You were running on Fontaine's bumper for quite some time, but then eventually you kind of fell off him, ended up finishing 6 seconds behind him, and at the end, Hasty was reeling you in a little bit. You ended up finishing in that runner-up spot. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
I mean, car was good. It just got super tight on me. I probably should have saved a little bit more, but my front tires were just gone there towards the end. There wasn't really anything I could do about it. I was able to stay with him for a little while, and then I roasted my stuff up. I mean, it was trying to get by him real hard, and then, but not spin the car out. I was trying to, take it if it was there, get the nose under him or something, but Sam ran a great race. Congratulations to him. I burned my stuff up and didn't have anything for him, but most important thing was bringing home the championship for the second season in a row.
Yeah, you got the championship for the second season in a row. I mean, how does that feel?
It's awesome. I mean, I went back-to-back with the mods a couple seasons ago, and now first one to go back-to-back with the super late models. It's awesome. I'm really pumped about it.
I mean, what is the key to doing well here in the Super Late Model Series? What is the key to winning this championships?
It's consistency. I mean, if you have to give up a spot or two here and there in a race to make sure that, you're finishing well, 6th place points in a race are better than going for 5th and wrecking and getting 18th, so, you give up a point or two here and there, but for the greater good throughout the season, it's really just a matter of consistency and getting as many clean finishes as possible and hoping, everything adds up.
Now, before we let you go, Josh, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Absolutely. I want to thank all the admins at Thunderstruck that help me keep everything going. I'd also like to thank you for taking care of the broadcast. Big Frig Coolers, best cooler around. You ever could need one, go get yourself one. And I'd also like to thank everyone over at Superior Performance Motorsports for recently adding me to the team. I'm really excited for the opportunity to learn and race with that great group of teammates over there. Shout out to Magic Mike for hopping in Discord at the end of the race there just to break our balls. And Manzo, wherever he is in Vegas, eating a donut.
Well, again, congratulations on the runner finish and the championship. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. You too, man.
Yep, thank you. And now let's pull in your winner. Coming from Canada, it's the 91 of Samuel Fontaine. Samuel, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, what a race for you. You led from flag to flag. Absolutely dominated tonight's event. Even when we saw Oswald was up to you, you were still able to hold him off. Just had a great race. You were consistent. You hit your marks and you ended up getting the victory. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
Yeah, it was a fun race. Was trying to manage like 125 lap tires. So first half was easy, and after that I just tried to run away from them and manage the tire at the same time. It was a really fun race.
Now, I mean, what is the key to winning here at North Wilkesboro? No, it's a very, very difficult track. We saw a lot of drivers were struggling, burning off their tires. I mean, how are you able to do it and get the win?
It's all about the way you're gonna manage the corners, pretty much. Going in 1 and 2 mostly. When you go downhill, you have to put the right amount of trail braking, the proper way of trail braking it to rotate the car, and yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, it's a tough track for sure, and yeah.
Now, before we let you go, Samuel, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Yeah, every guy for the league, like they are putting a really good league together. A little bit less driver tonight, but in general, we have a really good amount of driver and a really good skill field. So the guy of the league and like every guy in Roca and Moneymakers.
Got you. Well, again, congratulations on the win tonight, Samuel. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks.
No problem. Well, that is going to do it for tonight's event. Thank you for everyone who tuned in to watch tonight's broadcast. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Check out our Twitter, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. Make sure to check out our merchandise store, which is IntensityBroadcasting.com. We've got shirts, hats, mugs, mouse pads, stickers, and posters from your favorite broadcaster and all the amazing leagues that we broadcast. And also, make sure to join our NASCAR Fantasy Live League. It's called Intensity Broadcasting. You can search it up in the search bar and come compete against two of our broadcasters, myself and Josh Hall. I'm Atlee Atman on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and out.